project architect working on a large interior build-out for a law office is trying to figure out whether the project is on budget so far. The client has just signed off of the design development phase of the project. The overall architecture fee is for $200,000. How much of the fee should be left? So the gist of what's happening on this one is they're just trying to see if you kind of understand how the sort of general scale of how projects move along. And so the typical way that we think about this, and this is what's in all of the contracts, is you have schematic design, SD, you have design development, DD, you have the contract documents, kind of permit sets and construction drawings and things like that, CDs, and then you have the bidding phase, and then you have the construction administration phase. And most people will put these numbers, now I'm going to say most people because these actually do change a little bit from place to place, and there's some discussion about it these days. It might be a little different in the future, but right now, the way most people would talk about this would be say that SD is approximately 15% of the overall sort of budget. DD is approximately 20%. CDs is approximately 45%. For bidding, you set aside about 5% of the time, and then that leaves 15% for CA. So if we were at the end of DD, which is what it's asking for here, it says the client has just signed off on the DD phase. So if we're at the end of DD, that means we're 35% of the way through. Now, it's possible that some people may switch these. There's been a lot of discussion that SD really is taking longer these days than it used to because of the nature of 3D modeling and a bunch of those sort of expectations of clients. So maybe it's 20 and then 15, or possibly even 20 and 20 and then 40 for CDs. So these things, like I said, are changing a little bit. But for the sort of general purposes of what we're talking about, we can say we're at approximately 35% of the way through the project. So if the overall budget is $200,000, that means we've spent, in terms of time, about $70,000, but the question is how much should be left? So the answer is C, $130,000 of our fee is left. And with that $130,000, we're going to use for time, we're going to fulfill the CD phase, the bidding phase, and all of the construction administration phase. So fairly simple, just sort of understanding the sort of phasing of a project and how it sort of moves through the element here. Don't get confused by the fact that, okay, it was 200,000, not 100, so you have to double it, and that it was the amount left, not the amount we've used. So just kind of throwing those little things in there to kind of remind you that you have to actually really think about what the question is really asking you before you really jump into the answer. So C, 130 grand.
For those of you who are ready to start preparing for the ARE right now, and if you're already an AIA member, you can use coupon code 41817PJMYT to get a 15% discount for the entire duration of your ARE exam prep membership. Finally, please leave a comment below the video to let us know what you think and share any suggestions you may have. I promise we'll read every word that you write and use them to tune our next episodes. So thanks for watching.